Get some snacks ready, because we're going face first into laughs. So scooch on over to the TV, grab a comfortable seat, and get ready for a swinging good time. Why, we've even washed our ferrets for you. On life's funniest moments. We're bending over backwards and looking to dive right in, because tonight's episode is perfect. So make sure you're well groomed and keep your powder dry as we get set to move forward with some of life's funniest moments. The one thing about this show, the good times just keep on coming. Emily Drew, amateur babysitter. Oh, you'll be all right. Remember, you're helping Emily towards her life goal of becoming a nanny. Yes, these girls will give their all, so Emily Drew moves on to bigger things, if only for their own safety. The Goldman girls love watching themselves play together, so much so that Dad bought a video camera so they could watch themselves over and over. Dad, you could have saved a lot of money and achieved the same result by buying a mirror. It's Mother's Day, and little Frito has promised Mama breakfast in bed. Let's see, as soon as he gets this egg cracked, we're gonna be rolling. Okay, fantastic. Now all he has to do is push a few buttons, and Mom's day will be complete. Well, looks like Mom's gonna have to settle for lunch in bed, because breakfast is on the floor. Getting Frankie to pull the sled was easy. Mom just stitched 2 pieces of Canadian bacon onto the back of little Billy's snow pants, and it was go time. Don't you wish your car ran on bacon pants?
Okay, Cam, it's your turn. Cameron's turn.
What are you doing?
Molly's no fool.
Are you taking a bath?
In Beverly Hills, a mud bath will cost you around $700.
Not only that, you're going to be embarrassed.
Around these parts, they're free for the asking.
Hey, Mom, it's raining a little.
There's a reason Gina washes her ferret in the sink. Because the last time she washed him in the dishwasher, he came out spotty. No spots when you wash him by hand, though. Just look at that shine.
He's my long, skinny wiener boy, ain't ya? Nice shiny.
3 relatives, too much punch, and 1 wedding story that these people will tell forever. A toast to people who can open champagne bottles properly. May we find one for the next party. Just their luck. Ping and Pong had just shaved off their fur so they could be more aerodynamically inclined to swim well. Turns out they were both afraid of the water. Ah, the irony. Traditionally, the person who catches the bouquet is the next to get married. tradition also says if the wind blows the bouquet back into your face, you should have held the wedding indoors. Ever wonder why Mom says not to play dog in the house? That's why. Little Wayne was not going to be one of those kids you see on shows like this. You know, the ones unable to blow out candles, falling face first into their cake like some kind of fool. No, Wayne had a plan. He would meticulously rehearse his birthday so everything would go off without a hitch. Ah, the big day. Time to see all of Wayne's plans come to... Well, it just goes to show, practice doesn't always make perfect. Gordon's mom believes in better safe than sorry. There's not a cloud in the sky, but she insisted Gordon wear his raincoat and boots. You can never be too careful. Of course, she might have thought about getting him a helmet as well. Time to adjust the treble and the bass, because you're in for some smooth sounds. Little Dylan is often asked where he gets his inspiration, to which he always answers, "My songs just come to me, like they're blowing in the wind and I just find them." Well, he loves his acoustic guitar. Dylan's really gonna blow your mind when he goes electric. Just don't ask him where the guitar case is. He left it on Maggie's farm and the vandals took the handles. It's not the song that made him sad. It was knowing that he was responsible for the upcoming 21 bark salute.
These are real cow ribs, or beef bones if you prefer. These are 4 single bones that I hold in my hands a certain way. So I'd like to give you an idea of what I can do.
Hey, evidently the rib bone is connected to the hip bone. Whoa, dig it.
Chihuahua Jack Russell, Burrito, and he would like to demonstrate the drums. Hit it.
DJ Burrito is one of the most talented dogs around. He'll have you on the dance floor all night and then leave you howling for more. Yeah, DJ Burrito can scratch up a record with the best of them. For him, it's as easy as burying a bone. These smooth sounds are coming straight from Jelly Bean the dog. Pay no attention to the man under the covers. Nope. This is just a percussionary pup. Composing can be so frustrating, and Fontanelle is no exception. Sometimes it can feel like you're banging your head against the wall. Exactly like this. If you've ever seen the stage play Cats, you of course recognize this reenactment of the show-stopping performance of Memory. The cat on the left is playing Grisabella, a glamour cat who's lost her sparkle. And the cat on the right is Bob. He has no idea he's in a play and just wants to get some sleep. You know, some guys just have no appreciation for good theater. Coming up, a guy who doesn't bounce. And a baby who certainly does. When we return with more of life's funniest moments. Welcome back to Life's Funniest Moments. Some call them the good outdoors. Others go with the outstanding outdoors. But we're going to call them the great outdoors. 173 on the list of bad ideas. The double-decker swing set. You'll find it on the bad idea list between wool fork and snake cage. They say learning to ride a horse is one of the most difficult things you can ever attempt. Falling off the horse, however, is surprisingly easy.
Whoa! Whoa!
Remember, when at the motocross track, should you find a piece of popcorn lodged in your throat, do not panic. Just jump on your bike and maneuver up Heimlich Hill. In no time, you'll cough out the kernel and be right back tearing it up. There are plenty of reasons not to get seconds. 1, you should make sure everybody gets some. 2, 1 full plate of food really is more than enough. And 3, we aren't sure the patio furniture can take it. Now, let's discuss why you should never get thirds. The whole town laughed at the Malloys for getting a guard goose. What good is a guard goose? The neighborhood children would walk right up and tease Goose Malloy. That is until one day, the town's not laughing now. Kelly didn't think his face was dirty enough for a washcloth, so Grandma made sure that it was. They're all dirty and about to be all clean. Raul's hoping to get his ceiling done by tonight. Let's hope he does a better job on it than the ceiling over the cameraman's head. And if he was that bad at fixing the ceiling, you might want to get someone else to fix that chair. Sleeping, eating, burping machines. They're babies. Walking isn't on Henry's agenda for at least a year, but that hasn't slowed him down one bit. He's actually helping Mommy as well. The more Henry scoots around the living room, the less time Mommy has to spend cleaning the hardwood floors. Baby Barry is bananas about bananas. So much so, in fact, that he wants to move his room into the banana box. I don't know what Barry finds so appealing about bananas, but as long as they make him monkey around like this, I say keep them coming in bunches. Come, Baby Barry, tally your bananas. Blondes have more fun, but this rambunctious redhead would strongly disagree. Okay, he's not really a redhead, but you can't tell me anyone has more fun than Ronald here. You can't blame him. Every time he sees a camera, he just wigs out. Coming up, a wheelie gets popped, and a baby belly flops. When we return with more of life's funniest moments. Welcome back to Life's Funniest Moments. Some may prefer it dry and mild, but we prefer it wet and wild. Today was the day. He said he was going to do it, and by gum, he did it. And it just goes to show you that if your mind can conceive something, you can make it happen. It was a lot of work, but Rex finally taught that little boy to swim. Yes, showering in the sink always made Schnookums incredibly happy. But he didn't have to deal with the furry dishes. This is Samuel's first outing to a real live lake. Normally, he's a swimming pool kind of guy, but he felt it was time to experience real nature. And the good news is, it feels just like home. And he proves you don't need a diving board to take a dive. Ramon wasn't sure if he was up to parasailing or not. He's what we call a PG-13 thrill seeker. And in the beginning, it didn't look like Ramon was even going to get out of the water, let alone parasail across the tropical sky. But now the kinks are worked out and Ramon is about to take off. Fly, Ramon, fly free! Wow, is it too late for Ramon to get his money back? Inky had heard it his whole life. Black cats are bad luck. Black cats are bad luck. He was tired of people freaking out just because he crossed their path. Halloween wasn't very fun for Inky. He just wanted to belong. So he thought if he took the world's longest shower, he might not be a black cat anymore. But he was wrong. Sorry, Inky. Looks like this time the bad luck is all yours. Even though Lonnie and Donnie are now grown-ups, they still do everything together. Yes, these former childhood buddies remain inseparable. But if they keep this up, they're going to need an ambulance built for two. Be glad these clips are in your television and not in your bird feeder. They're squirrels. The view is awesome. He's close to work and he likes living in the penthouse. He'd sign the lease right now if it were not for his concern about the downstairs neighbor. Not much of a welcoming committee. Yeah, can't see coming home to that every night. I wonder if there are any vacancies over here. If Sven and Ollie were going to be roommates, they needed to get a few things straight right away. They needed to decide whether it would be chunky or smooth peanut butter. They needed to decide who would get to shower first in the morning. And most importantly, they needed to decide who got dibs on the ice pack after they finished fighting over the other stuff. Yeah, I'd give it about 6 months. Charlie had heard that this paper towel was the quicker picker-upper, so he was going to prove that he was the faster paper ripper. Curtis didn't like confrontation, but his owner had other ideas. His owner didn't know that Curtis and Lloyd had been buddies for months. Curtis just wishes that his owner would do his own dirty work. Coming up, a birthday blowout. When we return with more of life's funniest moments. Welcome back to Life's Funniest Moments. If the three little pigs are watching, they don't need to worry about Annie. She is not gonna huff and puff and blow in anything. The problem is, she's all huff, but no puff. Wait a minute. Looks like Annie's got the puff thing down pat. Those pigs better watch their chinny chin chins.